Hello guys and welcome to Talk Football with Tyrone. In the recent match between Manchester City and Real Madrid, Manchester City appeared so dominant against Real Madrid that left a lot of football pundits and football managers amazed. This football tactic that Manchester City employed and have been playing with is an ancient football tactic that was being used in the 1920s by Arsenal manager Herbert Chapman. This football tactic is the WM formation, named after the letters resembled by the position the players were playing on the pitch. This football tactic will clearly show how Manchester City were able to arrive under this football tactic, and this tactic had the following personnel. It had three fullbacks who currently are three centre backs, two holding midfielders who are known as the halfbacks, two inside forwards occupying the positions in the half spaces, a left winger and a right winger giving the team the width up the pitch, and a traditional centre forward. But before we continue, I'd like you to like, share and subscribe to this channel. This formation has been used with various managers in recent season. The first manager to employ this tactic was Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea, then followed by Pep Guardiola at Manchester City, then Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, and Xavi at Barcelona. This tactic was first introduced in the Premier League by Thomas Tuchel at Chelsea. And let's delve into how Chelsea was set up in this tactic. So Tuchel lined Chelsea in a 3-4-3 formation that shifted into a 3-2-5 in possession. The WM formation was achieved with the two wing backs holding the width, the two inside forwards being the two attacking midfielders, the two holding midfielders, and the three centre backs. Now, when Chelsea were building from the back using this formation enabled Chelsea to have numerical superiority in midfield because of the positions occupied by Mason Mount and Kai Havertz as inside forwards / midfielders. This box shape enabled Chelsea to outmove every opponent that tried to press them from playing from the back. And this is one of the tactics that Tuchel employed in the Champions League finals that enabled Chelsea to beat Manchester City. This 4v2 overload in midfield enabled Chelsea to always have a spare man in between the lines. In the Champions League final, we saw Ben Chilwell playing a ball to the spare man who was Mason Mount, and that is what forced Ruben Dias to come out and created the first goal for Chelsea in the Champions League. These positions occupied by these inside forwards from Chelsea created a lot of issues for the opponents. Now, when Chelsea progressed with the ball higher up the pitch, the opposition team was left in question marks. If they tied both Jorginho and Kante using their forward lines and used their midfielders to tie up Mount and Kai Havertz, when the ball would be played to the more aggressive Antonio Rudiger, Rudiger would be progressing with the ball in field and try to draw an opposition midfielder out of position. When the opposition midfielder was drawn out, a simple pass to Mason Mount will be played and Mount will turn back and pick Timo Werner, Chilwell or Kai Havertz playing ahead of him. That season, Mount scored 11 goals and had 10 assists in the Premier League alone. Now, when the forward tried to cover Rudiger, the pass to Jorginho was available, and Jorginho, given time and space on the ball, was able to turn and pick runners and dictate the tempo of the game for Chelsea. And this created all sorts of issues to the opponent, and Guardiola actually discussed this Chelsea tactic preview to the Champions League final on how and why Chelsea played so good. And this formation also enabled Chelsea to effectively counter-press because they had numerical superiority in midfield and they were able to win the ball back as fast as they lost it. This box-shaped midfield formed with two holding midfielders at the base and two attacking midfielders at the tip ensured Chelsea rotated the ball effectively. Recently, Pep revolutionized this tactic at Manchester City with a slight tweak to how Tuchel implemented it at Chelsea. This tactic has enabled City to be in the Champions League and a charge for the treble. So City lined up in their usual 4-3-3 formation, but when they push forward, rather than the wing backs giving them width, the wingers give them width, with the two midfielders joining the attack and playing behind the opposition defense line. Alternatively, rather than a fullback inverting, John Stones inverts from the centre-back position and plays alongside Rodri. This gives Manchester City 4 men in midfield and the wide centre-backs to cover for the movement of the wingers who are playing high and wide. Let's see how Mikel Arteta has impacted his team with this WM tactic. Unlike Manchester City and Chelsea, Arsenal invert their left-back Oleksandr Zinchenko to play alongside Thomas Partey and form the two holding midfielders, with the right back Ben White tucking in to form the third centre back. So when Arsenal are in these positions, unlike when Chelsea had the ball in these positions, so when the opposition tries to cover both Odegaard and Granit Xhaka and the two holding midfielders, Jesus leaves his position as the centre forward and drops to either side where there is space to receive the ball directly from the centre backs, and if a midfielder is drawn out to press him, this creates a space for Granit Xhaka to make a run, and Odegaard moves and occupies the two other centre back, and therefore Arsenal are able to form the 4-man midfield and able to build the attack. Let's see how Xavi employs this tactic at Barcelona. Xavi sets his team in a 4-3-3 formation, but one clear difference in Xavi's team is that he has 4 of the best midfielders. So he wants to incorporate all the 4 midfielders in the team. So Xavi starts as an orthodox left winger, but he doesn't occupy this position because he drops in midfield and plays as a left inside forward. Balde pushes forward and gives the width as a left winger, and Barcelona form the WM formation with Xavi, Pedri at the tip and De Jong and Busquets at the base, and this enables Barcelona to maneuver the ball in midfield while the wide centre backs cover the spaces left in the fullback position. This has made them win the La Liga this season. Now the WM formation is coming back to world football again. Do you think a lot of managers are going to start employing this formation? And do you think a lot of teams will come up with ways to stop this ancient formation? I'd like to hear your comments of this formation down in the comment section. And if you've stayed with us till the end of this video, thanks for watching.